had moved back to Calgary for the second time, I said to my very logical, very agnostic, and very scientifically oriented husband, I'm not living here again without a spiritual community, without a spiritual home. I went to the Rosicrucians. I went to Unity. I went to the Unitarians. I went to a few alternatives. I went back to my roots, United Church. And then I ended up in a place similar to this. And I had an OMG moment. This woman is speaking words of wisdom. I never heard words like that. I want you to go back to the moment that you first heard the Reverend Dr. Carol Carnes. And you felt like in your heart and your mind, you'd come home. Well, I went back to my physical home and I said, would you consider coming with me next Sunday? Big favor to me, right? So we went. And in his most enthusiastic, most excited tone, he turned to me and he said, I could listen to that. That was in 1993. Then Carol decided to leave us in 1998. I sat down at the computer. I'm a chronic journalist, you need to know that. Everywhere I go, I carry my journal and I look for sound bites and pieces that inspire me. And of course, Carol over and over again inspired me. So I pulled out my journal. I thought, I will write down my favorite Carol quotes and I'll give it to her little gift at the party Friday night. Well, the quotation just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And eventually, I ended up with a little thing called spiritual Carolisms. I was astounded. I thought, well, I'll make a copy for my mother. My mother's always impressed with me. I'll make a copy for me. And she's got 2 kids, maybe she has a mother. So I'll give her some copies. So I made 6 copies. Well, then Brian copied me. He got all excited. He says, we can make money off of this. Can you have 100 here by Sunday? So we made a little bit of money. That was great. Well, then Carol came back. I happened to mention spiritual Carolisms to her. Oh, Patricia, I don't think like that anymore. I have evolved. Oh, I had another OMG moment. Oh my goodness. So now my wonderful messages of inspiration from Reverend Carol Carnes, compiled by Patricia Morgan, is a piece of nothing. So how do you describe this woman, this piece of inspiration, speaking words of wisdom? In 1975, Carol discovered meditation and then New Thought. She has since emerged as a leader in the New Thought movement. Carol's the author of The Way In. She's a consciousness teacher. She's an inductee of the Martin Luther King Board of Preachers, a teacher, a mentor of students of the ministry, has been the convener and participant in 3 synthesis dialogues with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, mother of 2 magnificent adults, and grandmother to 2, and she is much more. I have 12 years worth of journals filled with inspiration from Carol. I thought, I'm not going to do another spiritual Carolism because she's going to keep evolving. So I did. Sure that, right? Oh, I worked my brain off to come up with 5 that I could probably maintain. 5 of my favorites. So here they are. You are greater than your experience. Okay. You are always creating your experience. The way in is the way out of what troubles you. The meaning of life is to give meaning in life. And my last is the first step to becoming conscious is noticing what you add to the phrase, I am. And Carol, I worked real hard at that. I am an individualized expression of spiritual energy called Patricia Morgan. I could change that in woman form. And in 2012, I could change that too. Informal survey of old-time members and some new-time members, and I asked them, what will you miss about Carol? I compiled this book, but of course, she keeps evolving. We'll see if you evolve out of these words. This is what the people who follow you describe you as. These are the one words: conscious, wise, intelligent, inspiring, awakened, awakening, articulate, honest, vivacious, and fun. Some people couldn't keep to one word. An amazing storyteller, gifted at thinking and sharing sticky words, ancient wisdoms, and profound quotations. A skilled teacher who does not talk down. A practitioner of mind-blowing treatments. Has a depth of understanding in the science of mind. Is a connoisseur of art, music. I'm a connoisseur of you too. And bobsledding! Has a rollicking sense of humor. And this particular gentleman said something to me about what he will miss with Carol. Our Dr. Bob Dixon said this, Carol. And if it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, I'll cry for you. Carol delivers a deeply profound message that speaks to just me and my heart. Ooh. I started thinking about, Carol, your message is hip, it's long-lasting, and it's still relevant. And I started thinking about who else on this planet could match you. The Beatles! And I've always wanted to sing this to you. Amy, can you help me with Love Me Do? Just help me sing this. Love me do, you know I love you. I'll always be true to the teaching. Please, love me do. Thank you. Love me do. You know I love you, I'll always be true, so please, love me do. Oh, you guys are so good. Think of this, Carol. These words linger on all over the waves. Yours are also, I'm so glad that your words are, in your book, on the radio, archived at the center. And another Beatles line. Now, I know that you get high in a different way than they did. They were in this other consciousness. Yeah, and you go to this other consciousness, so we could go there with the Beatles and Carol anytime we want. We just need to sit down and meditate. To paraphrase the Beatles, when I will find myself in times of trouble, Reverend Carol comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let's go. Times of trouble.